Introverts of Reddit, when was the most inconvenient time your social battery ran out? Get halfway through telling a story, realize it's longer than I remembered and have to gruel through the rest of it. Edit. Wow lol, glad y'all can relate. Can't believe I got my first gold and silver off of this lol. Oh my god. Anytime I start a story without realizing how many backstories and side stories I have to tell in order to make them understand the main story absolutely kills my battery. Middle of job interview. LMAO, why do you want to work here? You know what? I don't. Peace. There have been several interviews where I've realized halfway through that I don't want the job. It seems unfair that the answer to that can never be money. Most of the time, the only reason for me to want to work anywhere is money. My wife and I had a couple who mildly annoys me over for dinner and a board game. Game ended around 10 p.m. I was at the drain point. Was a perfect time for goodbyes, and then my wife went to the sitting room and started a whole new conversation with the monsieur 20 minutes later. I faked being asleep to get them to leave. You and your wife are polar opposites, huh? Yup, I think introverts tend to marry extroverts. We call them our people shields. So, how'd you guys meet? Asterisk, grab wife, put her between you and the undesirable. Tell him of our ways. Yeah, she's not the type to fake anything. I have been at a few parties where I just suddenly didn't want to be there and had to leave. It's like a light switch is shut off in my head. I've walked home rather than wait for my ride to be ready to go. I always find that those walks home, while frustrating to start, always ends up being somewhat refreshing for me. Even though I am not comfortably at home, I am doing what I want and not under social pressure. Not an introvert, but I was known among my party friends as the guy who just up and disappears. 99% of the time I just start walking somewhere. I've walked 6 miles home in the middle of winter. One of the most peaceful and tranquil times I can remember during college. Man, my social battery is always drained by 9:30. I could be at a party and I'm over it by 9:30 a.m. or p.m. This guy parties. One of my best friends graduated college in the day after a group of us went out. About 30 minutes in, I was on 2%. Had that happen after a baptism service I had to attend. I was socially drained after all the congratulations and shit float around. The moment I walked into a party, my roommate had taken me along with him and I knew no one there, so I pulled a Batman and vanished. While he was looking away. Ah, the good old Irish goodbye. My early 20s. I am 30 now and still haven't found the charger. Probably any of those times where my friend would say, hey man, we're gonna just be a few ppl. Playing Smash Bros or Mario Kart. Gonna hit the bong. Wanna chill. Quote. And I'm like, yeah sure sounds good. Quote. I get there. And legit 20 minutes in. Friend is like, oh shit yeah there's that party tonight. Let's hit the bar then go the party. And I'm like, yeah sounds good. But am secretly like, no. We end up at some house party with like 50 plus people and I turn into Michael Cera from Superbad. Why do I do this? That's how they get ya. They know you won't come out, so they dangle a piece of meat outside your cave and go, it's okay, buddy, we won't hurt you. And then once you creep into the open to grab the food, they throw the net over you and drag you to the Thunderdome. Two introverts go in and AAAAAND. Two introverts come out because frankly the crowd got bored watching them stand awkwardly on opposite sides of the Thunderdome. Introverted doesn't mean socially inept. I'm a crew lead at work, constantly talking on the radio, managing maintenance teams, yada yada. But I'm introverted to the point that I need to be alone after the workday to let my brain recover from the day of interaction. If it's a long or particularly stressful week, I need more than an evening and I'll want literally zero human contact for a few days. Some people like to go out drinking after work. I like to have no humans in my sight or sound range. If I can't have space and time to myself to recharge, I get cranky and mean, and it's in no way awkward to tell people to F off. At work, I work as a cashier, and this was 3 hours before my shift ended. Hey, how's it going? Scans as quickly as possible. Lol. Always save 20%, and when things turn social, ramp it up. 1 second after committing to any social event. At the family dinner right after my brother's funeral. At the funeral, I was able to be that person that received all the hugs and said hello to a ton of people I hadn't seen in years. I kept it together for the most part. However, I also have a really big and overly dramatic family, and by the end of it all I was ready to be alone. So I was happy sitting in my chair at the table while everyone else mingled among themselves. Edit. Sentence structure and a typo. Sorry about your brother, man. I was an orientation leader. Basically a long week of showing freshmen around campus. And I crashed hard by Wednesday. Little did I know we were also expected to go out partying with the staff in the evenings. So our days would be 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. with the first years. Then 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. with our staff. It was hell. Damn, I think I fried my own social circuits just from reading this. In the middle of a conversation with my extrovert friend who dragged me to this party. Wouldn't stop bugging me about it. Guess I looked bummed. I hate when people call you out on being an introvert and make it seem like they're better than you. 'Cause they're always surrounded by people. Why are you so quiet? Oh boy, nothing bugs me more than a busybody extrovert invading my space. Good God, I love it when they assume you don't like people and then brand you as a people hater for eternity. So when they see you with people, they say inject themselves in your conversation. Oh, I thought you didn't like people. Good for you. Getting and being social. Some friends asked me to dinner. It was kind of understood that it would be just the three of us. Go over to their house. Lots of people there. Somebody's birthday. No dinner. I went up to them and said, I'm sorry, but I'm not staying. We can have dinner together another time. Bye. And walked out. Didn't care who thought I was the asshole. Don't pull that shit on me because you know better. Dinner and party are two very different things. As an extrovert, I am learning so much in this thread. For me, if there's evening-themed food and they're humans, it's both a dinner and a party. Could be 5 people, or like 3 dozen. It's a dinner party. Yo, will from here on out specify the amount of people I expect to come. I had broke up with a girlfriend, and a very extroverted friend of mine asked me to hang out and party with him and some of his very extroverted friends. I said fuck it and went. It started out good, but by the 3rd bar we jumped I was exhausted and ready to crash. Shitty thing was that we took my car and I couldn't leave without the monsieur we ended up going to this high-end club in Chicago, and they bought bottle service for like $500. They all got drunk as fuck and started urging me to get drunk, so I had to sip on water pretending that it was vodka. I pretty much spent the night trying to avoid the hordes of drunk people raving to loud as fuck dance music while I had to manage my anxiety so I didn't completely melt down. Afterwards I dropped their asses off, went home, and completely shut myself out from the world for a week. TBH 3 places in a row is my limit period, day or night. My friend of 12 years from USA, I'm UK, came over. We met for the first time, and after 2 hours of us playing couch games like Overcooked, I was pooped. I just wanted to play a single-player game. So I showed my friend my Oculus Rift. She loved it, played it for a good hour after I set it up. Meanwhile, I leave the room quietly pretending I'm still in the room, and I go to the bathroom with my 3DS to play Bravely Second. To this day they never knew I abandoned them for an hour. Overcooked for 2 hours. That game drains me after like 20 minutes. It's intense AF. Same dude. It feels more like work than a game trying to get 3 stars on each level. I'm no longer dating her, so I don't feel bad. But right in the middle of my ex's mom's birthday, where I was meeting her entire extended family, Her aunt got really drunk and passed out in the only bedroom I could have hidden, so I faked feeling sick and hid in the bathroom, monsieur. I was bored, and that's how I found out her mom keeps all her sex toys in a basket above her bathroom towels. Terrible place to hide sex toys. Everyone knows you hide them in your sock drawer. But that's where I keep my socks. You don't keep your socks in your sex toy drawer? Very crusty socks. My BF's brother's grad party. I straight up looked dead by an hour in, and drinking is what gave me a second wind. Edit. Did not expect for my comment to blow up. Holy shit, and thanks. Well, they don't call it a social lubricant for nothing. The worst time was while house hunting. That was a problem because I really needed to find a house, and being exhausted, drained, so done with the whole situation was not a good mentality for trying to evaluate a potential home. I did find a good place. FYI, I feel you. I was at the mall the other day, and right after I finished checking out at a store, my battery hit 0. I had to find a secluded bench away from everyone and take a few deep breaths and remind myself that I still had to visit a few more stores. I did so, just quite grouchily, when my crush said hi you, Lukes_2006. Oof. A couple years into my marriage, when I had been busting my balls for years trying to make her think I was extroverted like her. We're still married. I think she kinda always knew. I've actually gotten pretty good at faking extroversion and being the center of attention and even the life of the party. But I will always 100% look for any excuse to get out of social events. Especially cause our kids are also extroverts and wanna go too, and I'm just here, all alone, recharging so hard. I'm sorry. Are you me? I can either be really extroverted or just over everything and want everyone to fuck off. I've never understood it. I'd say like 75% of the time I'm fine. But I just have a period of 3 to 4 days every now and then where I could probably be a monk, lol. I guess you got some good batteries. Not one time in general, but pretty much every Friday. That's usually the best day to hang out with one of my friends. For a while we worked together, so it made sense to just head over to his place after work. Every week, without fail, it would go like this. 1. Get to his house at 5 or 6. 2. It gets late, for me, 9:30 or 10. 3. Aw yeah, I should probably start heading out. 4. Friend and his girlfriend. What? You've only been here a few hours. We're about to blank. Quote. 5. Ah fuck yes, I'm staying another 2 hours. Ah, I can relate so strongly. Ever since I was a teenager, that 9:30–10 p.m. feeling would hit me and it was time to go. It is one of the few benefits of getting older. At 17, this was probably a little weird to people, and I ended up staying out far later because I knew it was a little odd. But at 27, it is starting to make a lot more sense. I'm on Reddit and I'm exhausted. Bro, reading all these comments is exhausting, lol smiley face. When my dad died 12 days ago, apparently even warning people that I was going to be okay, but that I was going to check out for a while wasn't enough. RIP FB, VM, text, and email inboxes. On the plus side, I've learned that I'm pretty loved. When I was hosting a party with my roommate, I went to my room, laid on my bed, and stared at the ceiling until 3/4 of the people left. Oh god, I was about to go inside of a gas station to get a pack of cigs. Felt confident enough. I get to the cash register and completely forgot how to speak. See, can I get a peepaw pack of MRLB Mar? Can I get a pack of Marlboro Black Menthol 100s? She's looking at me like I'm a fucking weirdo and reluctantly asks for my ID. I pull it out and very slowly slide it on the counter while she has her hand out waiting to grab it. I was trying to conceal my nervous shaking but made it so much more awkward. I wanted to say sorry but I just left. I didn't buy cigarettes myself for 3 years after that. Well, good on you for stopping. Question mark, question mark. Oh no, I just got someone else to buy them, lol I wish. Lol I don't know what you look like, but there's a 90% chance the cashier thought you were underage, using a fake ID, and just didn't want to deal with it. That sounds more like social anxiety than being an introvert though. A pretty extreme case. I suffered from social anxiety for quite a while. Still do, but to a much lesser extent now, so it's infrequent and not too severe. But it never got in the way of basic interactions like checking out at a store. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.